Hey y'all.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome back to another episode of Switchin Naturally. I am AJ.
I'm Channy.
I am currently separated from reality. I'm drifting in the nothingness that is my life. You can call me Q though.
Well, okay. And on that note, welcome.
No thoughts.
Yes.
Just vibes.
No thoughts, just vibes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, guys. How
Not bad.
sexy. So how art thou?
I don't know what's going on with this blur.
Yeah, like it doesn't like
in
you.
the Matrix every so often.
What if I told you that I have no idea what the fuck is going on right now? Okay,
Oh my gosh.
I have a background. Hey. We're live. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. That is true.
Upright and breathing is the name of the game today, fam.
Yeah. I think the best we could do this week is that way we showed up. We here.
We sure did.
I want y'all to know that, viewers, this is the third recording today. Okay.
No, it's not.
It is.
We absolutely did not do any other recordings today. This is the only one. No, we're.
Oh God.
We wanted to make sure we got you all the content you could.
Yeah, I gave you some content.
Daddy gave you some content. Open wide.
Damn, y'all can't see my titties moving.
Hey, listen. Keep the girls at bay.
And you know what? That's quite all right. That's all right. We don't. It's not for display.
I'm not king shaming, but I'm just saying, hey, let them chill. You know what I'm saying? Titties. Does anybody have an L of the week? Cool, I do. Hi. Hello. Unless you are me and a loved one. And like you are a loved one talking to me or to other loved ones. Honestly, I'm just gonna keep it real super fucking simple. Keep my name out your mouth. Just period.
And if I find out, it's gonna be a motherfucking problem, bitch.
Thank you so much. I love you so much. I do have this. Here's the thing. Talking on me, talking about me, spreading news, information, true or not. Don't. That's my business. And also, especially if you no longer work. This happened first of all at work. So if you don't work where I work, don't bring your ass back and start spreading rumors about me for the fuck of it. I know you like to watch the world burn, but listen, I'm already dark and tan enough. I don't need any extra crispiness, okay? Thank you so much. Mind your business. Just like you mind all them wigs, mind your business.
Not the wig.
That's it.
Well, all right.
And I said what I said.
But like I said, bitch, don't make me show up. Cause he not gonna hit a woman, I will.
I won't hit a woman first.
That too.
Let's be all the way clear. I will not start an altercation. If you swing on me, I'm going to stop you from swinging on me. Okay?
Right. As he cuts into his meat.
We're multitasking.
Yes, we are. And there's nothing wrong with a little multitask, okay?
All right.
But
So,
okay.
what today?
Dating while under the influence. And what does that mean exactly? It's still the month of May. It is still very much Mental Health Awareness Month. And while, yes, I am a therapist in real life, this is probably the only time that I'm going to be like, bitch, you're going to get all of this therapy content, okay? So essentially, guys, what does that mean to you to be dating under the influence?
Under the influence of what? And Joe?
Okay, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Dating people who either have mental health diagnoses or are needing medication management for additional assistance with their mental health. I don't like to call them issues because then it seems to give the stigma of if you go to a therapist, like something's wrong with you. Not necessarily you need encouragement and a safe space for discovery of how your brain operates. I don't think those are issues. I think that's just acquiring a new way of thinking. So basically, how do you date knowing or understanding your mental health, as well as being able to date and deal with others with mental health, and some that may or may not have medication management? And do you have medication management? That seems like a lot. So let's start with the basics. How do you know about your mental health, and how does that affect your relationships with everyone around you, not just your romantic partners?
So I can definitely speak on because of the fact of having like BPD and having.
Okay, let's stop. So tell the people what BPD is for you.
BPD for me is borderline personality disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Now, if you follow us before, we named it bipolar disorder. However, it has now been specified to borderline personality disorder. And I'm going to let you tell how that works for you.
So, because emotions can be unregulated with having BPD, it is it's common for people who have BPD to develop what's called a favorite person, and it is a dysregulated version of someone that you have a tie to, and that can often be a partner. A lot of times what happens with this dysregulated version or idea that we have, or that someone with BPD will have with this person, is that every action is taken as extremely personal.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this thing that's called splitting. So anytime where your favorite person acts outside of or in a way that directly makes you upset or uncomfortable or makes you unhappy, or even threatens your level of security as a person with BPD, you have a dysregulated reaction to that kind of conflict. Relationships have conflict. You have to figure out how to work through those kind of conflicts. I cannot immediately just switch to I hate that person now because but that's what my mental illness wants to do. It wants to turn, well, this person hurt me, so therefore that person is a bad person. And that's not necessarily the case, especially when you are dating romantically.
Okay. Jesus. I inhaled too quick.
You're not supposed to do that. So
the question is, how does that how has that either helped, hindered, or how does that show up in your relationships with other people?
For one thing, I try not to develop a favorite person, but it's very hard to do.
Mhm.
Um, and then oftentimes you have to learn how to allow people to be human, because this idealized version that I have of someone in my head is not necessarily true, and I have to kind of fact check in a way. Like, this person is allowed to have faults.
Right.
Also,
So where? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Also with BPD, there's often like a fear of abandonment is a big thing. Being alone is a big issue. I can't just cling to my partner, so I have to learn how to like be okay alone.
Okay. All right.
What about you?
I don't see myself as neurotypical, but I definitely don't have any of the like intense mental disorders per se. Um,
Intent?
Intense.
Oh, intense. Because it sounded
Yeah,
like I was like intense. That's
intense.
with an S.
So I am often the sort of stable one, if that makes sense.
Really?
Which, yeah,
I
yeah,
can see that.
I can see it. I'm
Yeah.
not disputing that.
yeah. So one, you gotta train your patience, not just for them, but for yourself.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and you gotta know to give people grace, especially if you know that they are dealing with, if they need mental health assistance. I'll
Hmm.
say, like, say they're not medicated. Like, you need to know that sometimes things might get a little volatile. Things can get a little scary.
Mhm.
Um, and you need to know that all you can do is be there and support them, because like it's their journey. You're just with them for the ride, right?
Yeah, but I think I think what I'm more so asking right now is like, how does your mental health show up, and how does it affect your relationships with everybody around you?
And I mean, I started with typically the stable one. So
Yeah, but
um,
you know that not everything is. But when you're not stable, how does that show up? Like that's not you said typically. So
Are you
generally,
asking how our mental illnesses has affected our relationships, like
no,
with
because I
other
didn't say
people?
mental illness. I didn't say mental illness. I said, what do you know about your mental health and your mental, and how does that show up for you in your relationship with everybody?
That's
I ain't said mine
a
yet.
lot of questions.
Huh?
That's a lot of abstract question. Hold on.
right?
I was
I am
saying,
typically I am typically disconnected regularly. That's how my mental health. I have feelings mostly. Uh, I mean, I do. Like I know that they're there, and when they're the big feelings, I feel them a lot. Um, but there's also, the shut off valve because I got work to do. So
okay.
I can
So
understand that. I think a lot of times, whenever I am like going, I feel like that if their things are going bad, I will just switch automatically and autopilot,
Yep.
and everybody gets an autopilot version of me.
apparently, I have recently learned
Hmm.
that I disassociate
You
quite a
don't say.
bit.
You don't say.
Front door. I disassociate quite a bit and I cannot tell you what happened in that moment. I don't know. And sometimes it can last a few hours, some days it can last days, weeks, months. I just do. However, I feel like I got good at disassociating from myself and not necessarily everybody else. So everybody else still got what they needed, or maybe they didn't get what they needed. I don't know. No one's told me any different. But I kind of just, I'm physically there.
Hmm.
I'm probably participating and doing all the things. So,
Yeah. You have mental processes for what it is that you're doing. You have disconnected from your own internals because, like, that's a lot to process, and I just don't have the time. I got shit to do today.
yeah, it's not over the small stuff though. Like, and I'm not saying that you do. I'm just saying for me, it's not like, okay, well, I had an argument with somebody, or somebody
Mm-hmm.
said something that pissed me off, or something like that. Like, it has to be like big things consistently happening at one time,
Hmm.
like losing somebody, or things are going wrong, or stuff, or it's like a snowball. Like
Hmm.
once one big thing happens, then it's just like everything else want to trickle off behind it. I'm like, bitch, you gotta relax.
Right. You chill out.
And I realized that, like, I don't have anxiety. I'm not a person that has depression, but I have dark ass moments that can last a little bit. But it's not a consistent thing. I'm not a person that just sits there and shuts down, or, well, I shut down sometimes, depending on what it is. But it's not something that's consistent to where I can be diagnosed with a particular thing.
Right.
Um, however common. But also because of how I was raised, and because of the people that raised us, I took on the terrible habit of, one, not only being a half nigga, but two, I don't have in the middle. I don't, especially now, I don't have it in the middle. You're either gonna get all of my vulnerability or you get none of it. I don't have that valve cover that'll just, let me
Hmm.
pick and choose. I
There's
don't
no
have it anymore.
regulating. It's.
It's There's none. And that's scary for me now, because I don't know this new part of it. I want my valve cover back. That's what I want. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna get it, but that's what I want. Um, and I think, and as a therapist, I've noticed, especially now
Mhm.
in this climate, everybody is dysregulated
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form.
Mhm. The world
People,
ended like 2 years ago.
huh?
The world ended like 3 years ago. We're just living in the aftermath, babe. Like I.
Yeah, yeah, hmm,
Mhm.
yeah. And I think But I think with even with you guys and understanding because for whatever reason
Mhm.
in my friend circles, I am considered the strong one. Channy is the one that's always in place, even when
Mhm.
she don't want to be,
Mhm.
and you are the one that you have your moments of being the strong one, and then you have your moments of leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
I will show up for the big moments. Like,
Yes.
if you ever need to talk, I got you for sure. Like, just text because I don't do that whole phone shit. Don't do that. Not unless you really ask, and then I will absolutely answer the phone. But like, if you call me crying in the middle of the night, I'm coming every single time. So
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
yeah.
I think this is definitely like a good conversation because I think the misconception is that no everyone there's people that don't have mental health issues. I'm using issues very lightly,
Mm,
but everybody struggles with something.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And there are all
Everybody
things
lives
that
fucked
you
up.
could go, yes, there's things that you need to unlearn when it comes to dealing with people. And
There's
do you
no
need intense therapy? No,
there's
because
no way to like live life and not encounter its complexities.
Correct.
yes, ma'am. And I think the complexities are what make you the person you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some people that cannot handle conflict. For whatever reason, conflict don't exist in their world. They create the fucking conflict, but the conflict don't exist in their world. And to me, it's confusing because I'm like, bitch, you're the one that caused all this shit. And now you don't want to fix it?
Mm. That's somebody who was raised not to face the consequences for their actions.
That's not always the case either, though. That's what makes it weird and complex.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who were raised and taught to deal with situations and take accountability, but then they're just like, I can't do no wrong. I ain't do nothing. Especially most. We're not gonna go there. But okay, so Channy, for you, what makes it difficult about your BPD that makes
Try that again.
with you having BPD, you living with it, because it's not
Right.
something, Um, what's the hardest thing you felt you've had to unlearn?
Um, BPD, the mania puts you
Mm-hmm.
in a position of thinking that you can do no wrong, and it gives you
Mm.
a sense of pride. And there's two things that you have to learn with BPD is that one, that you will end up at some point making mistakes, and it's going to be because of your BPD.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you have to come terms with is that does not make you a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's really hard to do because you will go manic and you will think that you are God and that you could do no wrong and that you are in alignment and everything that you're doing is correct. And then when you come out of mania, you realize that's not true at all. I made so many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
and you are flip-flopping between this. And it's very easy to blame yourself and say that I did this, I ruined it, I ruined myself. And with BPD, that kind of thinking, regardless whether or not it's true or not, it's not helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to learn how to address when you are in the wrong. And I think that's probably the biggest lesson I've had to learn with BPD is when I need to step back maybe from my mania and see maybe when I'm in the wrong, but also not blame myself when I'm not in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna be no therapist sniper today. But you know, we've had the offline ones about that one.
You're not gonna call me out today. I get it.
You already did that. Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said you've already done that once. You don't need to do it again.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Without being aware of the platform that we're talking about and what we're on. I'm not gonna talk about my client specifically. But the running theme is the misunderstanding of one, who they are and how they show up. And what I mean by that is, you've heard people tell me all my life I talk too much, or I'm obnoxious, or I'm sometimes too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go and I'm talking to people, or I'm trying to have relationships with new people, and then I go regurgitate the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I feel that I agree with that statement, but because I've heard it so much, I'm programmed to say it.
Right.
That's how people see me. So that's how I'm telling people I show up. Not saying that.
Just want to beat them to the punch.
Not necessarily beat them to the punch, but I don't know nothing else.
It's almost as if you believe it as fact. If you say something enough, you believe it. That's one of the reasons why I stopped calling myself annoying.
I'm so glad you stopped that shit too.
Good.
That used to annoy me that she used to say that shit. She's like, "Oh my gosh, that was so annoying. I'm so sorry." I was like, "Bitch, if you don't shut the fuck up." I was apologizing and
You're
telling
about
you
to make yourself. You're about to make yourself not a liar. So.
She's like, you say it enough, and then you keep doing it. Well, okay, maybe you're right. So I guess, and I think for me, the hard thing that I have to deal with is being a therapist and then dating. Because again, people, this is not a line that you should use with a therapist. Don't tell me you need me as your therapist, bitch. I'm not gonna date you. Don't
because
say
why
it.
would you date a client? Why would you date a potential client?
I would never.
Why would you tell that to a therapist?
They was like, "Oh, I need to see you." I no, you don't, bitch. Then go find you a therapist. You want a therapist or you want a relationship? Which one you want? And based on you saying that's just not for me.
You got license. Hey man, you can get some extra cash flow. Here are my rates.
And I'm not cheap. My minimum is $115 for 1 hour, by the way.
Sounds good and correct.
So, I'm just saying, and it's also harder because I can sense, see, and feel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I have dated people before with ways of mental health, and they know they need the help, and they know they need medication, and won't get it, and won't take it. And at that point, baby, I can't be with you because you are choosing not to want better for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, because they was like, yeah, I do my meditation, and that's my therapy, and then I go to work and make money. That's therapeutic, but that's not therapy. Two different things. Two different things. And that's hard for me for dating or any relationship period. Because there's some friends, I love you, I do. I'm not your therapist though, boo. You gotta find you somebody.
I think one of the dangers of someone who has, again, there's no other real better way to put it, someone who has mental illness or something like that. People think that they are prepared to date people who have mental illnesses until the mental illness starts mental illnessing.
Ooh.
And then they realize, oh, bitch,
this is real. This
for
is
real.
intense.
Oh, you were serious about that. Oh, okay.
Like you
Right,
that,
like this
you
wasn't
did that.
okay. And then that's when they do not abandon people.
Especially when you know they abandoned you. Oh, hoe ass bitch.
But I'm just like, if you're going to say that you're going to, if you're going to be there for someone who has a mental illness, please understand that is a huge responsibility. That is a big thing to say to somebody, especially for someone who has a mental illness. For them to hear that you're gonna actually stay when the mental illness starts mental illnessing, that's a huge commitment.
For sure. So, I guess I'm done with questions for y'all.
I got one, Jenny.
Huh?
How many dates before you generally tell a partner you have BPD?
Oh my God. It depends. If we just fucking, I ain't telling you. There's no reason.
Right. There's no point.
Period.
Yeah, because there's no deepness in that. I'm done.
I mean, hope there's at least a little bit of deepness. That was a sex pun for all of you that didn't get it.
That was good. That was good.
It was a really good one too.
But if we are dating, I'll be real with you. I talk about mental health and mental illness like right out the pocket. Good. I talk about I bring up mental health, mental illness. I bring up bigger topics because I'm not really I don't want to do the whole playing the game thing and later on find out down the line that you're like, I hate therapists or I hate therapy or shit. Well, right. Unfortunately, I'm a mental ill bitch and I'm on all kinds of medication, baby.
Right. I'm hella medicated.
I hate people when I hate people. Well, I don't hate people, but I really be looking at people crazy when they be like, "Oh, you therapists are scammers," and I'm gonna call him out because we had this conversation all the time. Justin, hey boo. One day we had a conversation. We weren't arguing. We were in an intense debate because it wasn't an argument. Like it wasn't what that was. He was genuinely asking, but it still sounded very ignorant. People don't see therapists as like they see doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And so they feel like therapy is just talking the entire time and that we're just in the room collecting a check for y'all to talk to us on a couch doing nothing.
That's not how that works.
And I'm like,
that's not how any of that works.
my 4.5, 5 years worth of training seems to differ. And don't let it be a person with a doctorate who spends another 4 or 5 years, including doing research and being published in journals of different types of things that's happening. That's looking like another 8 to 10 years
Mhm.
that we just sit there and do nothing.
So yeah, I typically, I don't date people who say shit like that.
For sure.
And it takes a lot more strength to go to therapy than it does not to.
Yeah. Real talk. I have partners. Um, I'm good. So what really matters to me are the vibes.
Hmm.
So if the vibes are off, I'm not going to engage. That is different when I know what the situation is, because then I can gauge the vibes properly. So, like, I also enjoy when people are pretty like upfront about it. Like, hey, this is what I got going on. We Gucci, and then I'm wearing their like swimwear. But I also can understand not sharing it right away
Yeah.
because that is your personal journey. But like, also don't be surprised if I, react in a way to having this information, given to me. It's a toss up. But anyway, I'm all done. Are we ready?
Any questions for me, or we're good? We're good. All right. Well, it was good getting to know y'all and stuff. Let's go on and do it out of here, Janelle.
All right, you guys. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Okay, Jesus. It's time for Music of the Week. Music of the Week. Hey, hey. Music of the Week. Music of the Week. Hey, hey.
What you got? Okay, fine. I'll go first. So yet again, guys, I went on a rabbit hole on Amazon Music, talking about this stuff, and I got to get more music.
Nice.
The one I'm gonna go with. Tell me if I said his name wrong. It's "What You Want to Try" by Masego.
I think, yeah, it's Masego.
Masego.
The sound, the vibes, the ears, the chef's kiss.
Masego
It's
is he's so attentive to music.
And this is actually a new song that dropped this year. It's a really great song. It's really good. It's so pretty. So who's next?
It's Due for Love. Specifically, hold on, the Snow Allegra version that you just did. Yeah, Due for Love. Yeah.
I haven't heard that one in so long.
It's very good.
Yeah.
What is happening to your
I
face?
was trying to remember if I heard the version. My bad.
Yeah, so it's What You Won't Do for Love, Slow Down,
Yeah.
Sultrified. It's
Mm-hmm.
so good.
Is that the one that's been going viral and people have been using it on
Probably.
all of the things?
One of my YouTube channels, Steezy, they had 6 composers, like three pairs of people choreographed to that, and each one of them fucking slaps. It's so good. The sensuality in that song is just it's beautiful. Anyway, Chanel.
I'm going to go with "Room in Here" by Anderson .Paak. It's been a minute since I've listened to Anderson .Paak in any way, and I don't know. I love this one. I love "Room in Here" because it kind of like it's an inviting space. Like it's a good song. I just like it. I like the smooth vibes of it.
Oh yeah.
All right, y'all. As you can tell, we are extremely tired and hungry.
I'm gonna get food.
So we kind of, whatever. But this is definitely another episode of Code Switching Naturally. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are coming up on the last few episodes of the season, so tap in with us until the summertime. Cause
tell me happy birthday on my
birthday. Tell her happy birthday because this come out like her birthday tomorrow. So if you see this, if you make it this far, actually I'm gonna clip this too. Tell her happy birthday, okay? Don't support her shit with happy birthday. Because how old you gonna be, girl?
28.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we bad.
I'm still a baby.
Yes, you are.
I am.
Yep. You are the cap on our line. You were the youngest.
Yeah.
So our line is between 28 and 33.
My God, look at us, grown up.
Real bad.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, y'all. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Tiny heart.